Okay, so there has been a mass exodus that seems to be happening right now. Okay, people are talking about it. Let's talk about it. Okay, let's talk about it. Relationships, the home, the job, just friendships, just all of this. People are waking up. Some people are waking up. I can't say everybody because some people are still sleeping. And we gotta pray for them. But certain people are waking up and they're noticing this toxicness, that's bullying, abuse, all of it. And sometimes it's very hard to come out of something that you actually care about. Maybe a job cause, you actually care about their mission, but the environment is just not it. It's not it at all. It's just not it. And it just hurts to leave something that you actually care about. It hurts. It hurts every time. And sometimes it doesn't hurt because you're like, yeah, I don't really care about this, so I could easily walk out. But when you actually care, you're like, God, are you calling me to leave this that I actually care about? Are you actually calling me to leave and walk out of here? That's why it's so important to weigh it with the truth of God's word. And He will never lie to you. If God is telling you that this place is corrupt, this place is not of God, then you have to leave. You cannot be out here yoking yourself up with the world. You can't do that because then you're going to start to learn their ways. You're going to start to act like them. And sometimes, too, what can happen is you can take on their identity. And we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that, okay? No, no. So it's so important for us to be praying about God ordained everything. God ordained our home, God ordained friendships, God ordained opportunities, God ordained relationships. Because if not, we could land in something that is just, mm, you know, this could set us back, because we don't spend so much time with these people. We feel like we feel guilty for leaving. We feel ashamed for leaving. But sometimes it's not the cause that you're leaving, it's the environment. It's the environment. Like you could have a passion. I'm gonna just use a random passion. You could have a passion for um, banking. Okay, you could have a strong passion for banking. Like you could be the best financial advisor in that company, but that company, something is wrong. Like maybe your coworkers are trying to compete with you because you got more sales than them, and you're like, I'm not here to compete with anybody. I'm not here to even fight anyone. I'm just here to be who God called me to be. Okay, I'm just here shining Jesus Christ light in this place. But people don't want that. They don't want the light shining in that place. Because it's not my light. It's not my light, okay? But as you grow more in the Lord, you start to shine more and more like Him. And then you start to feel like, why is everybody just so mean to me, And I'm not saying this in a selfish way, like, oh, I'm just so self-centered. But sometimes it's just so difficult working in these places because they make it so hard. And it's like, why? This is such a good place. Why is everybody just acting so hostile? Like, why? I know the level of most will start to grow cold in these last stages. So that's why it's so important to ask for God ordained everything. I'm not saying everything's going to be all rainbows and sunshines. Absolutely, it won't be. But there should be like a peace just waving through here. Like, above all else, at least we can still come on common grounds. Even if we have disagreements, there's still a common ground. There's still respect there. There's still respect there for one another. In relationships, there's still respect there. In friendships and family, there's still respect there. But a lot of time it just feels like you're the only one that's respectful, but everybody else is just so cutthroat. And I'm just like, why? Why, people? Why are we doing this? But it's all done on purpose. It's all done on purpose because we're in a spiritual war. This is what's happening, you know? And for some of us, like some of us, maybe our calling is just to do our own thing for God, or it could be to speak the truth, you know, to advocate, to stand up for what's right, and to stop tolerating what is wrong, you know? Because a lot of these workplaces, they have been ruined year in, year out. You're seeing the door constantly revolving. And maybe it takes one strong person to come into that place and just shut everything down and tell people to stop doing that, you know? Because it's so unhealthy. It's very unhealthy to be doing this. And not just in jobs, but relationships, friendships. You gotta make sure that these people at least know God, at least want to have a relationship with Jesus Christ. Because if not, they're gonna pull you out of your your growth. They're gonna try to pull you out of what you're doing and try to control you and all this mess. And nah, you can't fool around with that. You can't. And also the harassment that goes on at work. The harassment. People just feel so comfortable just to harass somebody, just to abuse another person. It's just sad. And I just hope there will be an investigation done in a lot of these places because it's just sad, you know. We gotta we have to there's just so much. I don't know. But it just hurts when you gotta walk away from something that you actually care about. But you know, if you stay another day, if you stay another moment here, you won't have no time for yourself because they're taking everything from you. You know, they're crossing boundaries. So pray for God ordained everything. God ordained people to help you. God ordained jobs. God ordained friendships. God ordained fellowships. God ordained careers, you know. That's what we need at this moment because it's only two forces who's fighting. It's God's kingdom, and then you have the enemy's kingdom that's fighting. There is no in between. There is no in between. They're either coming from God or they're coming from the enemy. There is no middle ground in this. Okay? Light or darkness is either one or the other. Okay? And the only way you would know is by observing their fruits, is by observing how they talk, how they what am I looking for? Hold on. How they approach certain situations and discernment, you know? It's just sad. It's very sad. But God will give us instruction. He'll give us wisdom on what to do. So just trust him. Just put it into his hands and involve him in everything. You'll be okay.